Culinary Treasure Podcast. I'm Steven Shomler, your host. Culinary Treasure Podcast is brought to you by the Culinary Treasure Network. Having so much fun. We are here in the wonderful country of Greece. If you want to see all of my content related to Greece, you can go to adventuresingreece.com, be it my podcast or my travel articles or my culinary articles. We are sitting here. I'm with someone who's incredible in the wine industry here in Greece, Anna Sakalaki. Did I get that right?
Yes.
And then Sakalaki Winery, your winery.
Exactly.
You and your family have a winery. You have vineyards. You are an amazing young woman. You run the winery. For those that are wondering, we are about 40 minutes roughly north of Thessaloniki. Let's see if I have this right. You have Greece, and then you have northern Greece. Then you have the region of Macedonia. And kind of like if you're listening to the United States, it's kind of like we have maybe the western United States, and then we have a state, and then we have a city and a county. So we have Greece, we have northern Greece, North Greece, we have Macedonia, and then we have Kilkis,
Yes.
and then we have Paionia, and the capital of Paionia is Polikastro, yes. Giannis is here with us, and he runs. That's the capital city of Paionia, and then we're in the little town of Plagia.
Exactly.
Yes, and all you need to know if you're listening to this podcast, it's about 40 minutes north of Thessaloniki. And having been here, I love Thessaloniki, but if you want to see real Greece, you need to make the 40-minute drive out to this region. Amazing food, amazing places to stay, incredible wine. So thrilled to be here with you, Anna. So as questions I start with all my podcasts, where were you born?
Good morning, Stephen. First of all, nice to meet you. I was born in Thessaloniki.
You were born in Thessaloniki.
Yes.
And where did you go to high school?
In Thessaloniki also.
And what was the name of your high school?
27.
27th. And then, as I know from other podcasts of people from Europe, you have no mascot in your high school.
No.
Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. Okay, and then you were here running this amazing winery. You know, your family's here with you, but you're the one running the winery. And how long, roughly, have you been here doing that?
Last 5 years.
5 years. Okay, and what did you do professionally before you were running this amazing winery?
Before I was in Brussels, in Europe, I lived there. I made my studies there.
And what field were you in?
In medicine.
Medicine, yeah, you're a doctor.
Exactly.
Yes, and so that's pretty amazing to go from medicine, from a doctor in Brussels, back to Greece to a winery. I think that's an incredible journey. I'm excited to talk to you about that. So, why the switch? Why leave Brussels, medicine, to come back to Greece and be part of the winery? What caused that?
It was really a big decision in my life, but I had in the same time many reasons I had to make a decision. I had or to stay there in Brussels or to come back to Greece. So I decided to came back to Greece to help my family and work with the winery and the wines.
And last night, I was lucky enough to hear you present. You did a wonderful presentation, and it seems like you don't. Do you miss medicine?
Yes, a lot. Also my life in Brussels, also medicine, my studies, the work at hospital, but it's totally different. Also people, the life, the work, the atmosphere, it's very, very different.
And are you happy here?
Yes, very happy.
And I think you love making wine and running a winery. Am I right?
We have in our job here in the wineries, we have to create a lot. We have to work a lot, but we have also to create.
And you like the art, the creation.
Yes.
And you're happy, aren't you?
Yes. Every bottle and every glass of wine, it's an art.
Yes, and every glass of wine is an art. I wish you could see her face, because when I ask if she's happy, she smiles and she glows because she is happy. You're smiling now.
Yes.
You love work. There you go. There's the
Yes.
smile. You love what you get to do working, because that's a big switch from medicine. I know that I used to be in banking, and from banking to storytelling, and from medicine to wine. It's pretty amazing. Now I know that medicine is very much a science. But I think there's some art to it because every person is different. And I know that the best winemakers, the best wineries, the people, they understand that it's both a science and an art. And I know that you are very, very smart. That's very, very clear. You're very articulate. And then there's that artist in you. Like you said, the wine is the art in a glass. Okay, so this something amazing is happening in 2022. In 2 years from now, what's going to happen? What kind of party are you going to have?
Yes, we can celebrate the century, 100 years of our winery, from my grandfather and also from the father of my grandfather.
So your great grandfather.
Yes,
So tell me if I have this right. Your your grandfather, Ioannis.
Ioannis, exactly,
Yes,
Ioannis Sakalakis.
that's your grandfather. He's the one that started the winery and planted the vineyards.
All the
But
vineyards.
his father, how do you say your great grandfather?
Sophocles, like my father.
Yes, your great grandfather Sophocles and your father Sophocles. But your great grandfather, he came here from Istanbul
Yes.
with the grapes.
With the grape and all the tradition around the wines and the winemaking.
And then it was your grandfather who in 1922 planted all the vineyards and got the winery started.
Exactly.
And then it's your father who about 20 years ago really made it much more professional from like just a family winery to becoming a very professional, large vineyards and
He
winery.
created everything more professional.
Yes. And this space is so beautiful. We got to see everything last night in a tour, and most of this area, this building, this space we're in, like the winery and the beautiful room outside, it's about 20 years old roughly. And then this space that we're in now, about how long, this one beautiful room, when did this room get created?
It's a new part of the winery. It's 3 years old.
3 years old. And I have the marble is incredible. You have to, if you're listening to this podcast, you have to go to culinarytreasurepodcast.com and look at the photos. This marble is curved. It goes up and then it like flows like water over a table and then up over the back. It's just amazing. And you have a local artisan, very gifted, who did this. Giannis, and I probably will say his last name. So you say his last name.
Yes, it's Yannis Katramadas.
Say his last name again.
Katramadas.
I'm not even going to try. I'm too tired. I'm too happy. But Giannis did this incredible marble. Now, people in the United States, when there's a winery, there's usually a tasting room. It's open noon to 6 or 2 to 8, and they just stop by and taste some wine and go. And you're a little bit different. You have a space, and people can come. They can make reservations. They can contact you in advance. And then you'd be glad to give them a tasting or set up a dinner. A lot of people have dinners here or events here. You sell lots of wine, but you don't have what Americans think of as a traditional tasting room. But if someone's going to come to Thessaloniki and they want to reach out to you through the website or through Instagram or Facebook and say, hey, we have a group or we want to come and try the wine, if they make it in advance, they can come and try your wine and buy some and check it out?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
We are open. We're waiting for friends, visitors, some colleagues. We organize tasting here, meetings, and we prepare this room for these events.
Yeah, you put this room together to have those kinds of events. And this room is just beautiful. I'll put pictures up. We had a dinner here last night that was incredible. And the music,
Yes, of course. We can have also music. An evening soiree with music also.
And what was the name of the people that were performing for us last night?
Nikki and Yannis.
Nikki and
Yannis.
A lot of Giannis's around here, I've discovered.
Yes.
But Nikki and Giannis did a fantastic job. He played the piano so beautifully, and she sang. It was quite a magical evening. So you went into medicine. Is that something you wanted to do as a little girl, to become a doctor?
Yes. When I was young, I always said I want to be a doctor because I loved learn and study. I always study and I love science. So I finished school, but later always this job, the winery, always increased. So my family want help. It's a very nice job, very interesting. So after Brussels, I came back to Greece.
So tell me where would you remember your wine journey where it began? You were what, 8, 9, 10 years old when your father was putting in the big lots of vineyards and building the winery up. Do you remember those days?
Yes, yes, I have many thoughts before, almost before 20 years, when I was 10, 8, 10 years old. It was at vineyards.
You loved walking through the vineyards.
Yes, yes. And at vineyards from my grandfather, when my father recreated the vineyards of my grandfather, and I was very young.
But you loved those. And you probably didn't drink
Yes.
very much wine when you were 8
No,
or 9.
no, I was at school. I was at school. But later, yes.
Yeah. So something that's interesting, you are a very dynamic woman. You're a great leader, a great speaker. I know, I can see it. I could see it last night. And sometimes in the United States, even sadly, there'll be some dynamic woman, and people will walk around and say, "Oh, well, where's the man? Where's the husband?" Does that sometimes happen even now, where it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it happen"?
It's the same in Greece. It's exactly the same. They see you and are you alone? You have a man? You are married? And you say no, I'm all alone. But for me, if you do a good job, for me there is no problem.
Yes, and just I want to give gentle advice to the men who are around this winery. This is my opinion. I have a daughter. I have a stepdaughter. I would be so proud if you have a daughter like you. I think that the men should listen to you and do what you say. That's my advice to them. You know what you're doing. It's obvious. You do a great job of it. So if you're listening to this podcast, this is just Steven speaking, but I think that you should really listen to Anna and do what she says. I think everything will go very, very well. I hope I don't get you in trouble with that, but
No.
uh, and it was very obvious last night. All the people associated with the winery, how much they respect you. That was very, very, very evident. So you have the winery here, and
Yes.
this is where you do your crush, and the grapes come in, and you make the wine. And then not too far from here, you have all of your vineyards. And tell me some of the varieties of grapes that you grow on the vineyards.
We have Syrah, Chardonnay, Xenomavro, the Greek variety,
So
Malagousia,
say that again.
Xenomavro,
Sonomorph.
Xenomavro, the Greek variety.
Yep, and that's if you don't know that, it's an amazing grape. They grow in Greece, and it's the one that starts with X. So if you're not familiar with that, if you look at my photos, it's one starts with X. But go ahead.
X. And it's the reason I put this etiquette with the Greek X,
Ah,
Xenomavro, with the Greek Xi.
okay.
It's
Sonomorph,
Xi.
yes. So you have roughly 7, 8 different varieties of grapes that you grow, and you make a lot of really wonderful wines here. I almost, I never complain about drinking wine, but we almost had too much wine last night. You can't have too much wine, but I came close, and it was all so good. I know when we're tasting wine, the professional Evan is here with us, wine savvy. Evan is amazing, and he's a very professional wine writer. And I know he drinks, and then he spits it out, and I drink it, and I want to swallow it, and I want more. And it's like, oh, I can't do that. We had so many wonderful wines. It was very, very enjoyable. So let's talk about some of these wines that you have here. You've got a lot of different wines that you make and that you sell. You're a very popular winery, particularly in the islands. People love your wine on the islands.
Yes. In the islands, also in Thessaloniki, in Greece, and in the islands also.
But we're going to talk about 4 or 5 of your wines to mention those. And so tell me about this first one here, your Chardonnay.
Okay. If I can propose you some wines, from white wines, I can propose you Chardonnay. Chardonnay for me is elegance. For me, I love Chardonnay. When I say elegance, I mean a, a nice wine, a white wine for many reasons, but not but for few people. A quality wine and a fresh Chardonnay for people who know to drink a good wine.
It's a very good. Last night we had the Chardonnay, and it was a very impressive Chardonnay. I really liked it. So
Exactly.
this second one, I remember what I said last night as soon as I tasted it. Now tell us the name of this one.
The second one is the Greek one. It's the Greek variety Malagousia, very popular, very common here in Greece. It's a very fresh wine, very light wine, especially for summer, and very interesting for you, I think.
Yeah, I
A new
loved it.
taste.
Yeah, I
Yes.
fell in love with it. My wife and I back home, there's a river, a small river near where we live, and we will go sit on the little river and just look at the water, very, very tiny. And we have what's called river beers, certain beers that just go really well on the river. And as soon as I had that, I sipped it last night, I could feel the sun on my face, and I could see the sun glistening off the water. I went, this is an incredible river wine, if such a thing exists. And I just wanted to maybe be on an island and sipping it. It was just incredible. And tell us the name of the grape again.
Malagousia.
Say,
Malagousia.
well, I'm not even going to try, but you say it. It's so beautiful. It's just wonderful. Anything else you'd like to share with us about this wine?
Exactly. Malagousia is special for summer, sea, with friends, with fish, with friends. It's a very fresh wine.
It's a very happy, joyful wine. And so I'm weird. I love rain. I love snow. I like hot weather, but I like cold weather. And I think there would be times when it's really cold in winter, I would get out a bottle of this to remind me of summer. Just to remind me of summer. I would turn up the heat a little bit in the
And
house.
especially summer in Greece.
Yes, summer in Greece. And even though it's cold out, I would probably drink it in the middle of winter. I turn up the heat a little bit in the house. I go, I remember now summer because I'm having a taste of summer in a glass with this wine. Okay, so you have, my wife loves rosé. And you have two rosés. The labels look almost exactly the same, but you have a dry rosé, which is very, very good. And then you have a sweet rosé. And the nose on the sweet rosé, they're both very good. But man, I just fell in love with the sweet rosé last night. Talk to us about this wine. And it's how do you say it?
Louis de Rose.
Louis de Rose. Yes, it's very cute label, very good wine.
Yes.
Talk to us about this
So,
rosé.
Exactly. It's a semi-sweet rosé, and the other is the dry one. So there are many people who love rosé. They want to drink a rosé, but it's very difficult to find a good rosé, really a good rosé. So Louis de Rose is a semi-sweet rosé, and it's a very popular. I think that it's the best seller of our winery. It's the most commercial wine of our winery, and it's a well-made rosé. It's from Syrah and Xenomorph Negoska, the varieties. It's, as I told you, it's very popular. Summer, winter, for young, for women and men, for food, without food, with cheese, with a salad, with meat, with fish.
It's one of your best-selling wines.
Exactly.
It's like almost like there's all-purpose seasoning salt that you use on everything, and it's almost like an all-purpose wine. It just goes with everything for almost every occasion and every setting.
Exactly, and it's a wine, a rosé wine, with very good quality. And
Okay.
if someone knows from wines, he can understand that.
All right, and then this is a special grape that you have in Greece. Now tell us the name again.
Xenomavro.
Sinomavro. Did I say it right?
Xenomavro. Yes.
Sinomavro.
Xenomavro, it's from the name is Xeno and Mavro, sour and black. Something like that.
Yes,
Sour
yes.
and black.
Yes, and it's this is a very robust red wine. A lot of flavor, a lot of body. It's pretty amazing. We'll see. What did we have last night? We had this dish over. It was over to the right. These incredible lima beans with red sauce. These lima beans that were very flavorful, and then we had this beef.
Yes.
And this paired perfectly with that. I cheated last night at the dinner. I had 3 glasses of wine. I had some of the Chardonnay. I had some of the Rosé. I had of the Sonomorph, and I had that one with my beef, and it was just fantastic.
Yes. I preferred this beef with mushrooms for this Xenomavro. To eat with this Xenomavro.
Yeah, it goes very well. And then, how do I say this nicely? not every winemaker in Greece does great with this grape. This is not the easiest grape to make wine with.
No, no. When we discuss about Xenomorph, we discuss about one of the most popular varieties in Greece. But it's very difficult from the vineyard until the production. It's very difficult. And we can find two types of Xenomorph, as we told last night. We can find the modern type of Xenomorph, like this Xenomorph, and we can find another type of Xenomorph. It's more heavy. It's like Nebbiolo or Pinot Noir. So here we have the modern type. It's with low tannins.
It's very approachable, but still very robust.
Exactly. So Xenomorph, it's a special variety for me, a very special and interesting Greek variety with a special taste. You can combine it with meat, with mushrooms, with sauce. What else?
It's just amazing. My wife makes a special tomato sauce that I just love.
Tomato sauce.
Yes, and she makes, and then I'm tempted to eat that tomato sauce like soup, but she puts it all kinds of things, and this would just be so perfect with that. So I love coffee mugs. As my fans know, I have lots of different coffee mugs. And read us what your coffee mug says on it. What does the coffee mug say right there?
Dream, strive to achieve.
Dream, strive to achieve. I'm going to picture up of this mug because I think this exactly exemplifies the leadership that Anna is bringing to this winery. She has big dreams for this winery. You're going to continue to grow it. It's just amazing. It was an honor to meet you. You know, I fall in love with places. You know, I fell in love with Bozeman. I've been back to Bozeman many times, and I fall in love with this part of Greece, this region. I have goosebumps right now, and I plan to come back, and I would love to come back. I don't know if I will, but 2022 for your 100-year anniversary, that would be magnificent. And are you going to have a very big party for the 100 years?
Yes, why not? We can organize a celebration or a big party with all family.
Yes, you should. And your fans. Have a big party, your
Yes.
friends and your fans. And I think that would be amazing because, you know, we don't have a lot of wineries in the United States that are 100 years old. And the fact that you're here and your family has been building this for 100 years, that's quite an incredible, impressive story.
Yes, that's true. From grandfather, father, with the vineyards, yes.
And you're carrying on an incredible legacy. It's very, very impressive. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Culinary Treasure
Podcast. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much.
It's been a delight to be here. And again, if you come to Thessaloniki, first you have to come to Greece. If you've not been to Greece, you have to go to Greece. And there's many wonderful places in Greece, but I love Thessaloniki. And then do yourself a favor. Get in the car, go 50 minutes north, and spend a day or two in this region. Come to places like this winery, meet Anna, take pictures with her, buy a bunch of wine, and take it home with you. That's my suggestion. All right. Cheers, everyone.